Having a chat with Joe Falker, who's brand experience manager with Cobra Puma Golf. Joe's kindly agreed to join us to have a talk about the new RAD Speed product. Thanks for coming on, Joe. Good to
pleasure.
Chat. So obviously, as I sit looking out at the snow just now, I've had James on the phone and we're talking about when products due to launch and all the rest of it, and we've been eagerly anticipating fitting gear arriving next week for the new RAD Speed product and do some testing. So, but I've already had a good few customers having a chat about what RAD Speed is and what it means. So I wonder if you maybe give us a bit of background to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, so the product name for this year is RAD Speed, and the name is not just a cool name. The name actually represents the technology that we're using in the driver this year. So the name RAD Speed comes from the technology which is effectively the radius of gyration, which is probably quite confusing to a lot of people. Certainly it was to me when I was first learning about it. But the radius of gyration, and that's basically what we've managed to do inside that product and all around radial weighting. And you'll see that called out on the product. So radial weighting and radius of gyration, all that is really is how we position weight internally to give a maximum benefit to the consumer, if you like. So obviously we have movable weight in our RAD Speed driver from front to back, but internally in the product, and it's called out on the bottom of the club as well, you'll see the radial weighting where we position weight internally, so low and forward and low and back, and that's going to have a huge benefit on CG and MOI to give obviously let people hit long straight drives.
Excellent. So obviously, I think just every year the consumers that come in, they're looking for the ball to go further. And I think from a retail perspective, it's become increasingly difficult to try and educate them, to let them understand that actually it's not so much about the ball going further and on a one-off hit. It's not going to go any further, presumably, than SZ or anything like that, which was a phenomenal drive as well. But realistically, it's to try and improve dispersion and improve the averages as much as anything else. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I'd say with RAD Speed, what we've managed to do is through shifting that weight around inside the head, we've managed to, if we move weight low and forward, there's going to be a couple of things that happen. You're going to get faster ball speeds. You're going to get lower CG. That's great. The bad thing from that generally, if you have a forward weighted CG driver, is you're going to lose forgiveness. So what we've done is we have that weight forward to give those benefits, but then we've also positioned weight strategically in the back of the driver as well, which in turn then is going to allow us to offer loads of MOI. So this RAD Speed driver is going to launch higher versus SZ to a degree, but then obviously it's going to spin a bit lower because we've got that weight in the front. So if you're launching it higher and spinning it lower, you're going to get more distance effectively.
Awesome. One of the things, so James and I did some testing with it last year. One of the things that I really noticed was the difference between the three models. So we've effectively got three heads now as opposed to two. I had my old man was in, as it happened, the day that we were doing the test, and anyone who's played with him will attest to the slice that he tends to have, and the difference using the draw head. It was phenomenal. To the point where he's already pre-ordered one, which he's never done. So can you maybe talk us through a little bit about the difference and why that's come to market?
Yeah, so there's three heads available. So if we start with RAD Speed has a matte black crown. The bottom or the sole of that driver has two movable weights, so front and back. So you can really dial in your spin in that respect, if you like. You can move that weight completely forward, or you can move the heavier weight into the back section. That's your driver that's going to be a bit more playable, if you like, a bit easier to maneuver. It's like your Formula One car, if you like, in that respect. You've then got the RAD Speed XB driver, which you could say is a replacement for the Speed Zone or the SZ Extreme driver. So that has a fixed back weight. That comes with a gloss crown. That has fixed back weight. That's designed to just go long and straight. That's like your drag car, if you like, in that respect. And then this year we've introduced our RAD Speed XD driver. So this has 10 grams of weight positioned in the heel. And what that's there to do is that weight being positioned in the heel is going to allow us to give some anti-slice or anti-right correction, if you like, through where that weight is positioned. Now all three drivers still feature this radial weighting, so we still have moved weight forward in all three drivers, but we positioned more weight in the back of XB and more weight in the back and heel of XD versus RAD Speed.
Excellent.
So there really is there's three drivers, and for someone like yourself and your members with your fitting kit, you'll have those three drivers. It's going to be, you know, a great opportunity to try to test to see which ones work best for them. It's not necessarily one driver suits one. All three drivers feature the same technology. All three drivers have MyFly loft sleeves and adjustability in that respect. And the other really key thing that we've managed to do with the driver this year is there's some weight save. Obviously, we're moving weight internally, and we've managed to save that weight from a new T-bar chassis we use in the construction of the crown of the club. So 50% of the body of the club is carbon. Obviously, that's a lighter material. The weight we save and the weight we've saved on our new T-bar chassis is repositioned where we need it. So that's another key tech. And then really the final one, which if we go back to 2018 with our F8 driver, we introduced our CNC milled face onto the drivers. So obviously a market leader in innovation that we introduced that. That's there to basically ensure that we can produce every face as close to the legal guidelines as we can. And this year is no different. We still have our CNC milled infinity face. It's there to deliver our thinnest, fastest, most consistent face, so you will get maximum ball speed from all over the face.
Excellent. And there is, I mean, you mentioned the custom fit and the testing run, and there is, as I said, when Wolfman, there is such a marked difference, and it is so important. We know with Cobra and many other brands, it's a huge demand from early adopters, as the market call them. You know, that person that wants it as soon as it comes out. There really is a huge difference between the three heads. Not necessarily aesthetically, but certainly performance-wise, that it's definitely worthwhile getting fitted for and hanging out that extra couple of weeks to make sure you get the right product in your hands. No,
definitely. I'd certainly recommend making sure you try it and make sure you get the one that's best fit for you. That's the way you're going to get your best results from it.
And obviously with Arcos and the grip as well, it's something that they can then measure as well, which I see a couple of the other brands are now jumping on the bandwagon, and Ping are bringing that to market as well. But we've had it in there for a number of years.
Yeah, we've had Cobra Connect since 2018, powered by Arcos. That stays in the grip, so all our stock products, if you like, will come with a connected grip unless you choose not to have it. Even if you just buy one club, there's a great opportunity through Arcos now, through the app itself, that you can then buy additional sensors additional sensors, so you can connect your whole bag. So if you just buy a driver but you want to have the benefits of Arcos and Cobra Connect, then through the app you can get sent those sensors, and then you can track your golf and improve your game.